Welcome to Classic Wraps. The title of this project is Beading with Gift Wrapping. As you have reviewed your project layout, let's get started. Okay, so now you should have your glue gun heated and ready to go at your hand. As you can see here, before we get started on our second box, I have provided an example for you without any type of printing on it. It's just a plain glossy gift wrap box with the beading decoration. And it's all freehand. So what we're going to do to make it easier, we're going to provide a gift wrapping box that does have print on it. And it's just a simple, small technique that can enhance your gift. So you should have any type of beading, any type of garland. Depending on how big your box is, you may be able to use larger beads. And what you're going to do before you get started, you're just going to simply take part of the shape and outline it, just to enhance out that color. So we're going to start from here and glue down, and then simply cut. So the first step is take your glue gun and make a small dot toward the end of the shape. You can take your time with it, just make a small little shape. Press down just a bit to pick up so it doesn't leave residue. And then you're going to let that dry. If you do tend to get a dribble down, let it dry and then you can cut it off as long as you leave it long way. If it does stick to the paper, then you're going to have to start over again. So I'm going to simply take the dot and then start with that bead and just let it soak through that glue. So that's your starting point. And then what you want to do, just let that sit for a few seconds until it dries, and then you can proceed on to outlining the rest of the shape. Okay, so as you can see, those two dots that fell here from the glue, I actually pulled the string and pulled it off and cut it off. Just let that dry, and then you can remove it if you tend to get a little bit of excess glue coming off from the bead once you sit it there. So now what we're going to do is simply take our glue gun and then trace that outlining of the shape. You could do it bits by pieces. You don't have to trace the whole thing if you know you're going to take your time to shape it out. I'm just going to simply pull that and just glide the shape. And as you can see, I'm taking my left hand, placing it, but my right finger here is actually shaping it and letting it sink through to where I want it to actually stand. Where each bead should be placed to bring out the shape. And then as we go, as the excess lines dry, just remove that excess glue from there. So just simply pressing it down, letting it dry, and then taking a little more of the portion and gluing it down. Okay, so as you can see, I cut off here, just take an estimate, and it should end slightly. Now what you can do, you do have two options. You can finish it up and stop here and work on this print and just make a circle around there, or you actually can go and proceed to go all the way around. You can cut it up and do it in pieces, or you can just continue once you start from your midpoint here. So we'll place some glue there and begin gluing it out to bring out the shape we have on our gift wrapping paper. Alright, so we're just going along, and now what I'm actually going to do is just continue. Okay, so as you can see, we're toward the end of outlining the shape. Again, holding with your left hand, and then outlining with your right point finger and thumb here. Just pressing down, soaking up the hot glue here to ensure that you are outlining the shape, and then the beads are placed where you want them to be. Now right when you're finishing up your shape here, you want to take an estimate at eye level of how many beads you're going to need. This will prevent lumps and odd shape errors. Okay, so as you can see here, I have finished our whole entire shape with the beading technique and begin on one other shape on the top. Now keep in mind, you do not have to complete the whole full shape, but if this is going to be your front, where you're going to set the gift, then you may just start right there, just a bit on the top to continue. And then again, closing it up with adding your own homemade gift tag with the to and from in the back. And we have our second example here, is just making your own shapes and gluing as you go. For more information, view the link below. Until then, thanks for tuning in at Classic Wraps.